Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. Let's start with the Mangala Charan. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Shabadhutam Parijana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Shahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhuvya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namah Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nilachala Nivashaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadravhyam Jagannathaya Te Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we are at the 18th chapter now of Bhagavad Gita. We have completed the 17 chapters. So in the 17th chapter, we have discussed about different divisions of faith. So this is basically extrapolation of chapter 14, which talks about the three modes of material nature, the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. There are many topics that are discussed in Bhagavad Gita. And there are prominently 5 topics discussed. Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. Okay. So Ishvara means the Ishvara Tattva, the Supreme Lord. Jiva means the living entity. Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti means the material nature. And Kala means the time factor. And Karma means the fruitive baggage of living entities. Based on different activities, living entities gather sinful or pious reactions. All that cumulative, in a cumulative way, that is called karma. Okay, so that is the 5th topic. So in material nature, one of the topic is Ishwaraji Prakriti. Now this Prakriti or material nature has 3 different modes, and there are vivid description about the 3 modes of material nature. Sattva, Raja, Tama, their characteristics, what is the effect of their bondage, and what is the result if someone leaves body in mode of goodness, in mode of passion, mode of ignorance, what will happen? That is discussed in the chapter 14. Now chapter 17 elaborates that topic and discusses foods in 3 different modes: sattvic, rajasic, tamasic food, sacrifices in 3 different modes, 3 different types of austerities of body, minds, and speech, and austerity in 3 different modes, charity in 3 different modes. And at the end of the 17th chapter, we have seen that everything in this world is in 3 different modes of material nature, but anything done for Vishnu is eternal. And to make it as a sacrifice or offering to Vishnu, the 3 words, they are very important. Om Tat Sat. Om means the invocation of the Lord, Tat means that Supreme Lord, and Sat means eternal. So whenever we are doing something for the Supreme Lord, in the Vedic literature, Om Tat Sat, one of these 3 things are added, and that is equivalent to Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So By chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra or by Om Tat Sat, we can offer something to the Supreme Lord. Now we are starting this chapter 18, Perfection of Renunciation or Moksha Yoga. This is the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita and more like a summary of all the chapters. Okay, so this is a wonderful journey throughout this Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters. So many different concepts Krishna has elaborated. And as per the verse of the 7th chapter, Krishna says that Yaj Gatva Neha Bhuyannad Gatvam Avashishyati. If you know this science of Bhagavad Gita, then there is nothing else there is nothing left for you to know. Okay, so this is very important. So if you remember, chapter 1 is basically Arjuna's questions. Arjuna is giving different arguments and not ready to fight. Chapter 2 is contents of Gita summarized. It's kind of a introduction or list of contents. What kind of yogas I am going to discuss. So briefly, Karma Yoga, Sakama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, everything together. Little bit of that concept is coming. Okay. So then chapter 3, we have Karma Yoga. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, so chapter 3 is Karma Yoga, elaborates more on the karma. Chapter 5 also same as chapter 3, discusses Karma Yoga. Chapter 4 discusses Jnana Yoga. Chapter 6 discusses Ashtanga Yoga. At the end of the 6th chapter, Krishna says that out of all the yogas that I have discussed, Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. Now, elaboration on Bhakti Yoga is in chapter 7 to 12, 7, 8, 9, like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. These 6 chapters, Bhakti Yoga is elaborated. Different kinds of devotional service, pure devotional service, mixed devotional service, demigod worship, and impersonalist. So pure devotees are explained, and those who are non-pure devotees, they are also explained. And what will happen to the pure devotees, what will happen to the impure devotees, everything is discussed. Okay, in the 12th chapter, Krishna explains more about Bhakti Yoga, different stages of devotional service. Okay, so in first, Krishna discusses the difference between pure bhakti and impure bhakti. Then in the chapter 12, Krishna discusses different stages of bhakti. So the highest stage of bhakti is fixing mind on Krishna. If you cannot do that, then fix your intelligence on Krishna. If you cannot do that, try to fix your mind on Krishna. If you cannot do that, at least work for Krishna. If you even cannot do that, then give up the results of actions. Tatakuri yatatmavan, and be self-situated. And qualities of devotees are explained. In this chapter, Krishna also explains that how if someone is worshipping Krishna in impersonal way, their life is full of trouble. And it is very difficult for them to make progress in spiritual path. Okay, so that is all about Bhakti Yoga. Then from chapter 13 onwards, some important concepts of knowledge is discussed, which will enhance our bhakti. For example, the nature, enjoyer, consciousness, Prakriti, Jiva, and Ishvara. What is their tattva? What is their relationship? In one sentence, if you want to summarize this chapter 13, that is Jiva desires, Paramatma sanctions, and material nature executes. Okay. Now, chapter 14 is more elaboration on that Prakriti, 3 modes of material nature, Sattva, Raja, Tama. And chapter 15 discusses the supreme person, Purushottam, the supreme Lord, who is above the 3 modes of material nature. Chapter 16 discusses the divine and demoniac nature, those who follow the supreme Lord and those who do not follow. How do we know what are their characteristics? Chapter 7 discusses that chapter 17 starts with Arjuna's question of unauthorized worship. Like those who follow the Supreme Lord perfectly, they are pure devotees. But what about those who do not follow? What about their faiths? So Krishna explained that their faith is also in 3 modes. And in that connection, Krishna described that food in 3 modes, sacrifice in 3 modes, austerity in 3 modes, charity in 3 modes. And at the end, anything done for Vishnu is eternal. So in this way, after understanding this Bhagavad Gita, so many different concepts are discussed, we should be able to summarize each and every chapter in one line. Like in 18 lines, you should be able to summarize the whole Bhagavad Gita so that everything stays with you. So after completing these 18 chapters, we can do a quick review of one session. One video, we will do quick review. Whenever you want to quickly revise the Bhagavad Gita, that video will be there so that you can take a look at it. So now chapter 18 is a natural summary done by Krishna of the Bhagavad Gita. All the important concepts that Krishna has explained, Krishna will reiterate those things in this 18th chapter. So this is very, very interesting. So first, let's go through the overview of this 18th chapter. So first 12 verses, they are basically teaching us, like Krishna is reiterating the point of detachment and true renunciation. That is, this is explained in chapter 5, chapter 3 already. Sannyasa and Tyaga. If you remember, the chapter 5 is Karma Sannyasa Yoga. So in that connection, Krishna has already explained that. 13 to 17 are the 5 factors of action. If someone, so Krishna throughout Bhagavad Gita has said that karmanyavadi karaste ma phaleshu kadachana, you should work, but you should not be attached to the fruits of your work. Now in this 18th chapter, Krishna adds some extra knowledge that why you should not aspire for the results, because result is not in your hand. Till now we know that hard work defines our destiny. That's not the case. Krishna enumerates 5 different factors which determines your destiny or your success. Not only your hard work. Hard work is in your hand. You can do your hard work. But apart from hard work, there are 4 other factors which Krishna will enumerate. So that's why we should not get attached to the fruits. We do not know what outcome is going to come. But definitely there will be no injustice. It will not happen that I have done everything good, but bad thing is happening to us. Some people think like that. They are fools. They consider only one lifetime scenario. They think, oh, I have not done anything wrong. Why wrong thing is happening to me? Everything about them is messed up. They do not have the proper knowledge of what is right and what is wrong. They do not have the knowledge of multiple lifetimes, and they start blaming the Supreme Lord. First of all, they think that they say that I have not done anything wrong. So what do you mean by wrong? We should ask such a person, what do you mean by wrong and what is right? People will say, I have not done any harm to others. I have not murdered someone. So these kind of big things they consider to be sinful activities. But like innumerable sinful activities every day we are committing. We are killing different insects while walking. That is also sinful activity. If someone is eating without offering to the Lord, that is also sinful activity as per Bhagavad Gita. And people have no knowledge about it. People are eating meat, they are not following the 4 regulatory principles, doing illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and they think these are all okay. I am not harming anyone. By gambling, I am losing money. I am not doing any harm to others. Meat eating is okay. I am harming animals. I am not harming any human beings. Intoxication is okay. Illicit sex is okay. So this is their conception of sinful activity. They think I am doing everything perfectly. I am not committing any sinful activity. But without their knowledge, they are committing infinite sinful activities. And for them, for those sinful reactions, they have to suffer. So this knowledge of what is sin and what is not sin is very important. And Bhagavad Gita clears all these concepts. And Bhagavad Gita also gives you a multi-lifetime view of your karma. So that then one who has all this knowledge in proper form, like the soul never dies. After one birth, the soul takes another birth as per karma. There are different factors of action. What are the definitions of sinful activities? If someone is having all this knowledge, then that person will be peaceful. That person will not expect much from this material world. Okay, so all these important concepts are discussed in Gita, and in 18th chapter, those are getting reiterated again. The modes control all activities of all beings. See, the 3 modes of material nature again coming. Such a long section, 18 to 40, almost 22 verses explaining about 3 modes of material nature again. Can you see? Chapter 14 is all about 3 modes of material nature. Chapter 17 all about 3 modes of material nature. Even in chapter 18 summary, This is a significant portion. Then 41 to 48, purification by Varnashram Dharma. Chatur Varna Maya system Guna Karma Vibhagasha. In chapter 4, Krishna spoke about Varnashram Dharma. Again, that is getting reiterated here. Then 49 to 55, Karma to Jnana, then Brahman platform. So these are precursors of Bhakti. Apart from Bhakti, there are Karma Yoga also, Jnana Yoga also. Karma Yoga is explained in chapter 3, chapter 5. Jnana Yoga is explained in chapter 4. So those things are getting reiterated again. And finally, Krishna is coming to devotional service. That prescribed duty without detachment, that is Karma Yoga. Then you develop Jnana. And then by performing Jnana Yoga, your Jnana matures. And then one understands the relationship with Krishna. So there is a verse in 7th chapter that Bahunam Janmanam Anti Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. When one's Jnana matures, one becomes a devotee. Acting on the relationship, then finally comes to devotional service. So there is a chronological evaluation, like first Karma Yoga, then Karma matures to Jnana, Jnana matures to Bhakti. But one can also take to devotional service or Bhakti Yoga directly. Okay. So then Krishna explains the working in pure devotional service. Karma Jnana is explained now, pure devotional service. Now, pure devotional service unto super soul, that is explained, and unto Krishna himself. Chapter like verse number 61 to 63 explains devotion unto the super soul. Now, the Supreme Lord also has different kinds of aspects. Srimad Bhagavatam explains that Vadanti tat tattavidas tattam yajnanam abhyaman brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdate. There are three aspects of the Supreme Lord: Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Brahman is attained by the Jnanis, Paramatma is attained by the yogis, and the Bhagavan feature, which is the topmost feature, is attained by the Bhakti yogis. So, Bhakti unto the super soul is explained, and higher than that is Bhakti unto the Satchidananda form of Krishna. And that is the concluding verse of Gita. So Krishna's final instruction is Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha. And then this is the final instruction. Then Krishna says about the importance of preaching and studying Gita. That, oh Arjuna, I have explained to you this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. One who preaches this message of Bhagavad Gita to others, he is my most favorite devotee. And he will remain my most favorite devotee. Nobody in the past or in the future will become more favorite than him. So Krishna's all mercy goes to a person who preaches this message of Bhagavad Gita. That's why Srila Prabhupada used to say, preaching is the essence. Who is not preaching, they will not experience the complete mercy of the Lord. Whatever we have learned, we have to see people around us, and if they are a little bit of favorable, we should speak about Krishna. We should speak about our belief. We should speak about the benefits we have derived from Bhagavad Gita. So that is called preaching. And one who preaches gets the full mercy of the Supreme Lord. Then Arjuna is firmly fixed. Arjuna shares his realization after studying Bhagavad Gita. And then Sanjaya's prediction. Not only Arjuna, but Sanjaya is also hearing that. If you remember the first chapter, Sanjay is narrating this whole Bhagavad Gita to Dhritarashtra in Hastinapur, and the Bhagavad Gita is being spoken at Kurukshetra. So Sanjay is able to see the live telecast of Bhagavad Gita, and he is able to hear, and he is narrating it to Dhritarashtra. Because Dhritarashtra is always thinking about what will happen to my sons, whether they will win or not. Dhritarashtra is not paying attention to the philosophy, but Sanjaya, being a disciple of Srila Vyasadeva, is understanding the philosophy given by Krishna. And we will see how at the end of chapter 18, Sanjaya describes his feelings. And Sanjay is very, very happy. And Sanjay is telling, I want to hear this again and again. Oh, what I have heard. The amazing thing, the most amazing thing. So this is how Sanjay expresses. So from Sanjay, we can learn that this should be our attitude after hearing Harikatha, Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. We should aspire to hear more, and we should be very, very excited. We will see that, how Sanjay is reacting. after hearing this Bhagavad Gita. So now let's begin the first section of chapter 18. Acting with detachment is true renunciation, sannyasa and tyaga. Arjuna uvacha sannyasasya mahabhavo tattvamicchami veditam tyagascha rishikesha prithakkeshi nishodana. Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation or tyaga and the renounced order of life, sannyasa. O killer of the Kesi demon, master of senses. So first we have to understand the question nicely. Arjuna's question is, O Krishna, please describe the difference between tyaga and sannyasa. Tyaga means renunciation and sannyasa means the renounced order of life. Sannyasa ashram, one who is sannyasi, renounced order of life, and tyaga means renunciation. Okay. So let's do it in the advanced view. Okay, so let's go to Krishna's answer. Sri Bhagavan Uvacham Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sanyasam Kavayo Vidu Sarvakarma Phalatyagam Prahustyagam Vichakshanam. The Supreme Person of Godhead said, the giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounced order of life or sannyasa. And giving up the results of all activities is what the wise call renunciation. So, Krishna defines these two terms, sannyasa and renunciation. Okay, so what is the renounced order of life? The giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounced order of life. Giving up activities that are based on material desire. So, one who is in the sannyas order of life or one who has become a sannyasi, that person will not do anything out of his material desire. Whatever that person is doing is due to his like for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, not due to his material desire. Okay, and giving up results of all activities is what the wise call renunciation or tyaga. And what is tyaga? When I am doing any activity, I am not attached to the fruits of that activity. Okay, giving up the results of activities is tyaga. Tyaga means sacrifice, sacrificing the fruit. Okay, so these two things we have to remember, that what is sannyasa? Sannyasa means a sannyasi who is in the sannyasa order will not do anything out of his material desire. We'll do everything for Krishna. And tyaga means whenever we are doing something, we are not attached to the fruits. We are giving up the fruits. Okay, so this is called tyaga. Now, interestingly, these two are the same thing. There is no difference. So, what is sannyasa? Sannyasa is rejecting kamya karma. Kamya karma means, kamya means based on my kam or material desire. So, I will reject all those activities which my mind is dictating me out of my material desire. Okay. And tyaga means what? Giving up results of all actions. Whatever actions I am doing, I will not be attached to the fruits of those actions. Now, what is the meaning of this? A sannyasi who is rejecting kamya karma, that means what? He is only working for Krishna. That is devotional service. Tyaga means what? I am giving up the results of all actions. How is that possible? You cannot do anything without giving up the results of actions. This is very difficult. Right? Suppose we are preparing for some exam. Okay. You should have some goal in your mind. Some people think, oh, after this, if I crack this exam, I should have some motivation, right? So for motivation, generally people meditate on the fruits, that if I crack the exam, what will happen to me? What positions I will get? Okay. or I can earn a lot of money, something like that. So that's the motivation. But if you are attached to the fruits, that is against the principle of Bhagavad Gita. But without being attached to the fruits, you will not get motivation to do the work. So if you have to do action without being attached to the results, then you have to offer the fruits to Krishna. Okay, I am doing it for Krishna. Whatever I will gain from this activity, I will utilize in service of Krishna. And my only purpose is to please Krishna. So that is only possible if one is doing work for God. Then that person can give up the results of all actions. So sannyasa means also doing work for Krishna, and tyaga means also doing work for Krishna. So these two are the same thing, but different terminologies. They have different definitions. Okay. So that is the first concept discussed here. त्याजम दोषावधित्येके कर्म प्राहुर्मनीषिणां यज्ञदान तप कर्म न त्याजामिति चापरे. Some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty. Yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, penance should never be abandoned. So Krishna is telling that some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty. Okay. Yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, penance should never be abandoned. Now, how to understand this verse? What is the connection of this verse with the whatever we are discussing or Arjuna's question? So here Krishna says that there are among the different manishis or different sages, they have different opinions in this matter. Some sages say that all kinds of fruitive activities you should give up. Okay, one should not do any fruitive activity. Other sages say no, but sacrifice, charity, penance, these activities you should continue. Again, it seems like they are saying different things, but it is the same thing. How? Now, all these things, sacrifice, charity, penance, these are called nitya karmas. They are not kamya karmas. Okay. These are called nitya karmas. Sacrifice means yajna, dana, tapa. One is doing for the satisfaction of Vishnu. In chapter 17 only we learned this yajna, dana, tapa can be done for satisfaction of the Vishnu. And this is regular activity. One should do these things regularly for the satisfaction of Vishnu. So this comes under the category of nitya karma. These are not kamya karma. I am not doing all these things with a fruitive mentality or due to my material desire. Okay. But some people are there who do all these things in a fruitive way. Who are they? In chapter 17, we have learned all these things, the Rajoguni people do it for name, fame, recognition. Okay, that is fruitive. So one should not do all these things in a Rajos Tamaguna, in the mode of passion or ignorance. If one is doing in mode of goodness or Vishuddha Sattva, Shuddha Sattva or Sattva, then it is fine. Then one should not abandon. But if somebody is doing all these things for name, fame, recognition, then one should avoid. So again, there is no confusion. All kinds of fruitive activities should be given up. That is same as continuing the nitya karmas like sacrifice, charity, and penance. Okay. So this can be a little technical, but I think if you think it in a simple way, it can be understood. So is there any doubt regarding this, whatever we have discussed till now regarding sannyasa and tyaga? If you have doubts, you can raise your hand and ask questions. So they are same things, different terminologies. And there is, the sages are also saying the same thing. Okay, so it seems clear. Now, Krishna continues. Nischayam shrenu me tatra tyage bharatusattama tyago hi purusha vyagra trividha samprakirtita. Oh, based on the Bharatas, now hear my judgment about renunciation. Or tiger among men, Krishna is addressing Arjuna like this. Renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of three kinds. Okay. Now, renunciation or tyaga. Tyaga or renunciation is of three kinds. Krishna will now explain about that. Yajnadana tapa karma natyajam karyameva tat. Yajnadanam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. Krishna has given the opinion of the sages in the previous verses. Now Krishna is telling for certainty that you should not give up these things. They must be performed, but there is a caution note. We know from 17th chapter, this should not be done in mode of passion or ignorance. Try for Vishuddha Sattva. You cannot, if you cannot do that, at least Sattva. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, penance purify even the great souls. Okay, these are part of devotional service. One should continue. Okay. एतानि यपि तु कर्माणि संगम त्यक्त फलानि च कर्तव्यानि निमे पार्थ निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम्. All these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty, O son of Partha. That is my final opinion. Now, again, if you have all the concepts of Gita, it becomes very interesting. So if you remember, in the 17th chapter, we were discussing what was the common trend of mode of goodness as a matter of duty. The common trend for mode of passion is for name, fame, recognition. The common trend for mode of ignorance is out of laziness, out of carelessness, okay, out of ignorance, okay. Now, Krishna is telling all these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of results. So that means you cannot perform this in Rajo or Tamoguna. And as a matter of duty, means at least in Sattva. If it is Visuddha Sattva, that is very good. Niyatasya tu sannyasa karmano nopapanjate mohattasya parityagas tamasya parikirtita. Prescribed duties should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in mode of ignorance. So Krishna is telling, Yajna Dana Tapa you should not give up. Dukkhamityeva yat karma kala klesha bhayat mayat sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet. Anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to elevation of renunciation. So if someone is giving up or neglecting these duties, yajna, dana, tapa, out of fear of bodily discomfort, that it is very painful for the body, I have to get up early and I have to take a bath and do so many rituals, so let me forget about that. So that's not good. So Krishna is telling you should not abandon these nitya karmas. Karyamityeva yat karma niyatam kriyate arjuna sangatyakta phalam chaiva satyago satviko mata. Oh Arjuna, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it is ought to be done as a matter of duty and renounces all material association and all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness, and that is allowed. That is very good. Nadvesta sukshalam karma kushale nanusajjate tyagi sattva samavishto medhavi chinna samshaya. The intelligent renouncer situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to the auspicious work, has no doubts about work. So a person who is in mode of goodness, he does everything as a matter of duty. So here the word auspicious, inauspicious means, as per the person, we may think that, maybe in devotional service also, some people are like this. I like this service, I don't like that service. I like kirtan or I like DT services, but I don't like cleaning the temple hall, something like that. So somebody may consider that, DT worship service is very auspicious for me, but the cleaning of the temple or menial services, they are not very good or inauspicious for me. But intelligent renuncer, one who is situated in the mode of goodness, that person will never compare between different services, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work. Whatever is prescribed by Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, the person will do that. The person is not attached to some services and averse to some. A person is Krishna consciousness or in the mode of goodness does not hate anyone or anything which troubles his body. He does work in the proper place and proper time without fearing the troublesome effects of his duty. Such a person is situated in transcendence, should be understood to be most intelligent and beyond all doubts in his activities. Nahi dehavrita shakyam tyaktum karmanyasheshatam jastu karma phalatyagi satyagitya midiyate. It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities, but he who renounces the fruit of action is called one who is truly renounced. So, giving up the fruits of all activities is very difficult, but one who renounces the fruits of action is called truly renounced. That means that unless you offer your activities to Krishna, you cannot be detached to the fruits of the activity. Anishtamishtam mrisham cha trividham karmana phalam bhavatyaginam pretya na tu sanyasina kvachit. For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of actions, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy. So, for one who is not renounced, that means if someone is not in the renounced order, that means what will that person do? What is the definition of renunciation? Definition of renunciation is one who rejects all kamya karma. Remember, what is the definition of sannyas? Rejecting all kamya karma. Okay. So if someone is not renounced, that means he is not renouncing the kamya karmas. That means he is doing some kamya karma. He is doing some activity as per material desire or the dictation of the mind. So those persons will have some accumulated karma, desirable, undesirable, mixed. Desirable karma means punya. People want desirable punya that make them happy. Undesirable means sin, and mixed happiness or pious activity, sinful activity mixed. So different kinds of karma that person will accumulate who is not in sannyasa. Now, interesting thing is, for achieving this stage of sannyas, one need not be a sannyasi formally. A grihastha can be also a sannyasi. How is that possible? Because of the definition of sannyas. Sannyas means rejecting kamya karma. There are so many exemplary grihasthas within ISKCON who are not doing any single activity for himself. They are doing everything for Krishna. Now, one might question, how is that possible? One has to eat, one has to sleep, one needs some kind of recreation. So, how is that possible that someone can be 24-hour doing everything for Krishna? Now, the point is, something for maintenance of the body that is allowed. If someone is eating and taking proper rest and doing a little bit of recreation, then that is not against the principle of Krishna consciousness. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 6.17, Yukta hara viharasya yukta chestasya karmashu yukta swapno bhavodasya yogo bhavati dukkha. So, such a person eats for the maintenance of the body, takes proper rest so that the next day the person can be active to render service to Krishna, and takes Krishna conscious recreations. For example, the person is very tired. The person can play a kirtan and hear to that. That is soothing. Okay. Or the person can meet with devotees and discuss with devotees about the pastimes of Krishna. So in this way, the person takes Krishna conscious recreations. The person will not indulge in anything which has nothing to do with Krishna. That will pollute our consciousness. But if you are doing it in a Krishna conscious way, then for the maintenance of the body, if you are eating, if you are sleeping, if you are doing recreation, yukta ahara bihara and yukta swapna bhavodasya, yoga bhavati dukkha, then that is also Krishna conscious. You are eating to strengthen your body to serve Krishna. You are sleeping to get energized the next day to serve Krishna. You are taking a Krishna conscious break and doing recreation to clear your mind, and with fresh enthusiasm serve Krishna. Okay, so this is how such things are not outside Krishna consciousness. So such a person is 24-hour Krishna conscious. Okay, but one who is doing something called kamya karma, or like doing sense gratification, or doing something as per the material desires, then that person will have to suffer the karmic reactions. All these concepts are discussed before. For example, Bhagavad Gita 3.9, if you see, it is the same thing. In the chapter 18, everything is getting reiterated. Jagyarthat karma nonyatra loko yam karma bandhana tadartham karma kwanteya mukta sangasamachara. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will remain always free from bondage. It is the same thing. In this verse, Krishna says, if you do kamya karma, that means you are doing something which has nothing to do with Vishnu, then you will get karmic reactions, bondage of karma. Okay. So we completed this first section. This section was little technical, but I think you got the key idea. If you keep the central idea in your mind, then everything will become crystal clear. So I'll do a quick recap so that everything is clear. So in the first 12 verses of this 18th chapter, Krishna is describing, as per to answer the question of Arjuna, Krishna is describing the difference between sannyas and tyaga. The answer is there is no difference. They are the same thing stated in different way. Sannyasa means what? Rejecting kamya karma, only doing Krishna karma, only doing work for Krishna. And tyaga means giving up the results of all action. How is that possible? By doing work for Krishna. So both are pointing to the same thing, devotional work. Okay. And then Krishna explained many other aspects, like what about the different sages. So we'll quickly go through the translations once again. So that is the central idea. Now, some learned men declare all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty, yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, penance should not be abandoned. Both are same thing. All kinds of fruitive activity one should give up. One should not do any activity which is out of material desire or fruitive. One should do everything for satisfaction of Vishnu. So sacrifice, charity, penance should be done for the satisfaction of Vishnu. Then Krishna also says that renunciation in the scriptures are of three kinds. What are they? Sacrifice, charity, and penance. Yajna, dana, tapa. And they should not be given up. That is also the opinion of Krishna. But they have, like, one should perform all this sacrifice, charity, and penance in mode of goodness or in mode of pure goodness. One should not do in mode of passion or ignorance. That is the thing. Okay. And it is the same thing without attachment or any expectation. That means you should not do it in mode of passion. They should be performed as a matter of duty. That means it should be done in mode of goodness. Prescribed duties should never be renounced. Again, Krishna is telling Yajna, Dana, Tapa, you should not renounce, but you should do that in mode of goodness. A person who is in mode of goodness does not differentiate between different services. Whatever is given, person will do. There is no favorite service or dislike towards any services. O Arjuna, one who performs the prescribed duty only because it is what to be done, that means as a matter of duty in mode of goodness. Same thing again and again Krishna is telling. The intelligent renouncer situated in mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work. It is indeed impossible for embodied being to give up all activities unless one surrenders everything to Krishna, does everything for the satisfaction of Krishna. One who is not renounced, what will happen? If you do not do everything as an offering to Krishna, then you will get some karmic reactions. What three kinds of karmic reaction? Desirable, undesirable, and mixed. Okay. So that is the summary. Sannyas and Tyaga, same thing. And the same thing is do everything for Krishna. One line summary. If you do not do everything for Krishna, you will get karmic reactions. Okay. And doing everything for Krishna is known as sannyasa also, is known as tyaga also. Okay, so hopefully this is clear to all. If there is any questions, we can take. Okay, so we'll end here today and we'll continue next week. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Pramanande. Hari Hari Bol.